Jury selection begins today in the trial that could cost Rudy Giuliani millions of dollars.
So the former New York City mayor and former attorney for Donald Trump has been found liable for defaming two Georgia election workers after accusing them of rigging the 2020 election. ABC's Liz Landers is in Washington with the story.
Rudy Giuliani walking into federal court in Washington, D.C., where a trial begins in an election lies case. Giuliani, without evidence, accused two Georgia election workers in Fulton County of committing election fraud, rigging the 2020 election for Joe Biden.
Of Ruby Freeman and Shay Freeman Moss and one other gentleman, quite obviously, surreptitiously passing around USB ports as if they're vials of heroin or cocaine.
Giuliani has already been found liable of defaming Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, the mother and daughter targeted by Giuliani, acting on behalf of former President Trump. Those so-called USB ports were actually a gingerment. The D.C.-based trial will determine the extent of the damages. They're seeking between $15.5 and $43 million. Today is the first time Freeman and Moss face Giuliani in person.
It's turned my life upside down.
That was Moss testifying before the January 6th committee last year, where she recounted harassment and death threats directed at her and her mother in the years since the election, saying they had to go into hiding.
I've lost my sense of security, all because a group of people, starting with number 45 and his ally, Rudy Giuliani, decided to scapegoat me and my daughter, Shay.
Giuliani conceded his statements about Moss and Freeman were false, though he argues they were protected by the First Amendment. He has already been ordered to pay them $230,000, though he says mounting financial difficulties are making it hard for him to pay even for his own attorneys.
The Department of Justice has investigated threats and harassment against election workers and in the last few years charged several people across the country. Moss and Freeman told ABC News that they will never work in elections ever again. In Washington, Liz Landers, ABC News.